This story is a longer one, but it is also a very interesting one, so I hope you enjoy it. Reverend Thomas S. Brown was born in 1814 in Pittsylvania, Virginia. He was the first of 9 children born to Archibald and Elizabeth Cahill Brown. When Thomas was born, his father was 26 and his mother was 29. Around the age of 15 in 1830, Thomas left Virginia and moved to Brown County, Indiana. This is the point where Thomas's story takes a sad turn. On January 26, 1839, when Thomas was 25, he married 21-year-old Sarah Floyd. Thomas and Sarah would have 2 children together, a daughter that passed away in infancy and a son, John. Sarah passed away only a few years later, and her death year isn't certain. Thomas had Sarah buried in Mount Zion Cemetery in Brown County, Indiana, but there is no photo of her headstone. On June 11, 1842, when Thomas was 28, he married 22-year-old Margaret Davis. Like his first wife, Margaret would pass away at a young age. Margaret passed away on Christmas Day in 1844 at the age of 24. She passed away giving birth to twins. Margaret and Thomas's twin daughters, Julia Ann and Margaret Emily, were also born on Christmas Day, and they did survive. Thomas had Margaret buried in the same cemetery as his first wife, Sarah, and there also isn't a photo of her headstone. Before Margaret passed away, her parents had packed up and moved to Ozark County, Missouri, and settled along Fox Creek. Not long after Margaret passed away, in early 1845, Thomas packed up with his 2 small baby girls and moved to Missouri. I couldn't find his son John on any censuses during this time, but when he was an adult in 1870, he was living in Douglas County, Missouri with his family, so I'm guessing Thomas brought him along as well. After moving to Missouri, Thomas sent his twin girls to live with their maternal grandmother, Catherine Davis, and she helped raise them. While Thomas was traveling through Missouri, he was following Bryant Creek when he came across a cave. Thomas camped within the mouth of this cave while building his house and blacksmith shop with the help of his neighbors. He was the first blacksmith in the Rockbridge area, and he was also a Methodist minister. Thomas began holding church services in the cave he camped in. His members started calling him Parson Brown, and the cave became known as Brown's Cave. When I read this, I got goosebumps. I randomly picked Thomas's grave to clean, and I had no idea he was the person who Brown's Cave was named after. I spent many afternoons as a teenager with my friends and a flashlight exploring Brown's Cave. We always tried to get to the back of it, but we never succeeded. After exploring the cave, we would always drive down the road by Assumption Abbey and jump in the river to clean off. Brown's Cave was very muddy every time I explored it. Another fact I discovered, Brown's Cave was listed for sale in 2022 for $345,000, and it said it has sold. After moving to Missouri and getting established in 1846, when Thomas was 32, he married his third wife, 18-year-old Mary or Polly Burden. Thomas and Polly would have 7 children together, 5 boys and 2 girls. Sarah, Isaac, Patrick, Francis, William, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Phila, and Edward. Mary would have her children from the age of 21 to 39. Something happened in their family that was a bit eerie. One of their 2 daughters, Sarah, had a familiar sounding story. Sarah had the same name as Thomas's first wife. Sarah eventually got married to her husband, also named Thomas. Sarah then passed away at the age of 19 because of the same reason Thomas's second wife, Margaret, died, giving birth to twins. Unfortunately, Sarah's twins didn't survive the birth. Sarah's headstone is in the same cemetery as Thomas's, and her epitaph says, "Our dear sister sleeps sweetly here, with a baby in each arm." In 1864, Thomas joined the infantry volunteers for the Civil War. Thomas was 48, but when he joined, he lied and he told them he was 10 years younger than he really was. He served in Company H in the 46th Regiment for the Union and was honorably discharged in 1865. His family search page states he disliked slavery, which may have been a reason why he left Virginia, and that he was an active member of the Underground Railroad during the 1860s. After the war, Thomas went back to Douglas County and continued working as a blacksmith and preaching. During his life, he also served as a justice of the peace, and he was a judge for Ozark County for several years. In 1892, Thomas was getting up in age. He was in the paper because his horse had thrown him, leaving him with several broken ribs. Another article in 1894 stated Thomas had been confined in his room all winter due to neuralgia and an old sore on his ankle. Neuralgia is nerve pain due to irritation or damage to a nerve. Thomas passed away not long after, on May 14, 1896, at the age of 82. Before making this video, I randomly picked Thomas's name from the list of graves I cleaned last fall, and I just noticed I'm typing the story up on his death date of May 14th, exactly 129 years after his death. For the second time researching Thomas Brown, I got goosebumps. Thomas's family buried him in Yates Cemetery in Douglas County, Missouri, with his daughter Sarah. His obituary said, Mr. Brown was highly respected by friends and neighbors for his many kind deeds and hospitality. His body was buried in Yates Cemetery on the evening of May 15th, and when we gather at the river, is it not sweet consolation to think that among the loved and lost, he will meet you on the other side? Yates Cemetery is right by the river that Thomas lived on and not far from Brown's Cave. It's one of my favorite cemeteries to go clean in. Long after Thomas passed away, people continued to gather and have picnics at Brown's Cave. After Thomas passed away, Polly continued to live by herself, and the 1900 census said she was farming for a living. Polly passed away in 1901 at the age of 73, and she is buried in Yates Cemetery next to Thomas and several of their children. My family tree showed that I'm not related to Thomas. My husband is related to his third wife, Polly Burden. She is his fourth cousin, 7 times removed. Thank you so much for watching. Rest in peace, Thomas.